Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Malkin, with me, Bragaton. Let's speak with the Coven. Middle one was sitting at the kitchen table slicing onions. Eldest lady had an errand in Bondley Village, said the witch, studying the onions while cutting them. She'll be back soon, after the hog whose bristle she means to blanch turns white. Sounds like a serious errand, said Donald. All errands are frivolous, all sport is serious. Middle one threw the onions in a skillet, with sage and mushrooms. Eldest lady strode in some time later, after night had fallen. The tables have turned, and you had to wait for me for once, she said to Donald. She looked very wary, as if she'd made a long journey. Her appearance belied her taunt. And how is the hog at Bondley Village? Eldest lady looked inquisitively at middle one before responding. It squeals too much. Middle one put down plates of beef and cups of wine. The first Donald had had in company with the witches. The meat, seasoned with sage, was tender and good. There was mint salad too. The wine was bitter but pleasant and earthy. The goose-fletched arrows, said Donald. I found out a boy makes them. The woodcutter's son. I thought so, said eldest lady. He's a very peculiar boy. Stay away from him. A witch being warned away from a boy. That's a reversal. Now everything in these woods is as it appears. Not even you, sister, said middle one in mock amazement. No, not even me. You told me to look for the hunter who shoots with arrows like this. All three of them use arrows like this. I may have overstated the arrow's conclusiveness, but it is still useful. You know that Nen's killer is one of the three who shot with such arrows. Better to know that the killer is one of three than it is to guess that he's one of 3,000. This was more reasonable than the old witch's earlier position, so he let it drop. While they were talking, Little One had built a bridge with a salt shaker, a pepper shaker, and a knife. The witch placed an ant on the knife, was trying to encourage it to cross. I also spoke with another spirit. Eldest lady sighed. I've already told you, stay away from them. They will distract you, as they did him. In the vision they gave me, you tricked him into going to them. Malkin did what he liked. I did not trick him. He thought he could learn nothing more from us. I told him only the spirits could teach him more. Was that a trick? It was true. He knew the danger. Middle one only looked out the window sadly. He was lucky. He didn't perish. And he's wiser than he was. Why haven't you told me exactly what's become of him? Why haven't the spirits? Asked eldest lady. Because they have something to hide. They would drag you along through mystery and doubt, because that's their way. I want to tell you. Indeed, it would be a good lesson for you. But I can't. We have sworn ourselves to silence on this matter. Pry no further. It will do you no good. Middle one began sweeping crumbs of bread from the table. Allow me to ask just one more question. What was in the grimoire he took? This grimoire? Asked eldest lady. She took the book Donald had seen in his vision from on top of a shelf. Its pages crinkled as she opened it. She ran her hand along one of the pages lovingly. Yes, that's it. Eldest lady closed the book. It contains many things. Spells of my youth, spells of my old age. Spells that middle one and I made together, and others from covens long ago. Lore known by none but myself. Most of it trivial, I'll admit, but precious in its way. And other lore that could shake kingdoms. And yes, things I've learned from the kami, wisdom they gave me that I only half understand. Dangerous writing. He put the book back. Donald asked no more questions. The young witch could not get to sleep for some time that night. Maybe because of the unusually rich supper he'd had. As soon as he did, a thunderstorm woke him up. Also, he did take a nap during the day. He fell back asleep, or thought he did. If he did, the storm continued in his dreams, the thunder becoming an alien voice that warned him against unknown trespasses he was on the verge of committing. The the wind in the trees becoming the marching of an army sent to seize him. The next morning, Donald woke to an empty house. Where had the witches gone? But then Middle One came in from the backyard with a basket full of tomatoes. Eldest Lady was on another errand. But she'll be back any moment. She's very busy these days with leavings and comings. It is dangerous and hard for her, you know, with the Congress watching her. It caught me too. There are places she can't go. No questions now. Chew. Chew and keep quiet. Take this tomato. We have too many. It wasn't dinner time yet, so we can't return. Interesting. Okay, so we're gonna head back this way. And ideally make this loop here so we can head up north. Alright, so south first, and then west. Watch me get to the end of the game and I've explored like 99% of the map. That's gonna upset me. Hey, here's this hill again. Oh, we're supposed to be going up towards... Mnesse and her motley crew. I think what I'll do is continue exploring this way till I find a fast travel point, then we'll head north again. We did find this again. I wonder if I can do anything with it at this point. Alright, the young witch passed by the grave again. So here we go west instead of south, right? Yeah, we need to go up this way. He said that Mnesse was near the waterfall. So we explored these areas. So we go this way, then north, to the Orchid Cave. And that should give us a fast travel point. So we'll explore the Orchid Cave, I assume get another sword, then go north. The waterfall. When Bloody Thornapple grew here, collected some. Pig Onion grew here, he collected some. Quick save, and fight the Congress. Through the trees, Donald could see a spot of surprising vibrance in the dark woods. But before he could investigate further, a portal appeared in his way. Alright, the usher is vulnerable to fire this time. Which means on our way up I can swap to the other sword. I want to use it, I want to swap to it. Can I do that? I can swap items in combat. I hadn't tried it before. 77 dross. The moths were gone. The patch of color Donald saw through the trees beckoned. Donald came upon a little glade. The sun was brighter here, the air fresher and cooler. Unseasonable daffodils, tulips, bluebells, and forsythia grew up around a cave. New landmark discovered. Orchid Cave added to map. Fantastic. More white bonnet grew here. Donald collected some. Do like my resources. Let's check real quick. There was a tomb here. Statues of demons flanked a wooden casket, unadorned except for a piece of red silk draped on top of it. It was not the first such tomb Donald had discovered. Young Witch read the poem on the wall. Green of seven shades, for which shade weeps the orchid, as spring days vanish. Young Witch opened the casket. A skeleton lay inside. It wore ancient armor and slept beside a sword. A paper ribbon with the words, "No Lord but Time," in calligraphy was wrapped around the mouth. A hollow voice came from the skeleton in the casket, but the skeleton itself didn't stir. Wanderer, the sword is restless that drank its fill centuries ago. That clung to me like a lover. Take it. The young witch took the sword from the casket. It was a fine weapon. The stone demon sprang to life. The battle was over. As before, the stone demons returned to their places. "I'll see you at the crossroads," intoned the hollow voice. The young witch found the orchid sword entombed with the Ronin. Are they really Ronin, though? They say no lord but time. So time is their lord. Alright, so the orchid sword, two-handed, which only... plus 10% poison and electricity resistance, plus 1 attack bonus, 1 to 6 poison damage, 15% chance of a critical hit. If the Orchid Sword is used as a consumable, it gains the following properties before it is destroyed. 10 poison damage, 10 electricity damage, and must be adjacent to target. Cool, so we have 3 of the 4 swords. The last one must be the electricity sword. Wherever it may be. Found the cave's over here. That's the Orchid Cave. I wonder if it's right here. I can't hover on top of it. Could be up the mountain a ways too. Either way, to the waterfall. Let's double check our quest log though. Out of nowhere, a white pony sprang into Donald's path. The diminutive knight astride it. A silver bells tinkled on the animal's harness, and the knight's sabatons just barely rested in silver spurs. The pony's eyes were as green as emeralds. The knight lifted her visor. It was Sebin. She opened a saddlebag fastened with a silver clasp, and invited Donald to look at the treasures within. A leather jerkin, some proper armor. Alright, so we've seen Gloves of the False Knight before. They're pretty solid. Unseelie Greaves. So it requires 11 strength, plus 1 constitution, minus 1 dexterity, minus 1 will, plus 10% poison resist, and plus 1 armor class. I think that might be worth it. A Thane Signet Ring. Plus 2 armor class, plus 10% all resistances, plus 1 fortitude, reflex, and will. Whence campst thou, worthy Thane? Macbeth. Alright, we're definitely going to grab that. Page's Boots. Plus 1 dexterity, plus 2 reflex. Also just a straight buff. A leather jerkin. Plus 3 armor class, plus 5% normal resistance. I'm going to take that as well. Thank you. Take both keys of Dross. I think this is worth it. Or it could be. I think we just sell this. It's just a bauble. And I'm never going to use this either, so we can sell that. See, I'm afraid this might come up later in dialogue or something, but it is listed as just a bauble. I'm going to risk selling it so I can buy this stuff. I'm going to sell this. I'm never going to use that. So I'd rather have the Gloves of the False Knight. Someone already has that equipped. I believe Not does. Or the Greaves. I don't think we have any footwear yet. I'm going to grab this because it's more expensive, and so I assume the game considers it more valuable, which means the stats are better. Alright. That'll round up my dexterity. And his can't be helped anyway, so... do that. You can have that. We got better armor. Huh, thought about more boots. Guess not. Oh, a ring. That's what we bought. Oh, the holly ring. I have that equipped as well. Alright, I must fully kitted out. We're just missing a neck piece. I mean, we have one we can equip, but it's cursed. I'm not going to put it on. Whoops, click through that. Alright, Here we go. Oh, come back. Get you back. Alright, Donald saw Mnesse and her band through the trees. They were all there, just as Palamon said they would be. I read how Palamon with his plan. The young witch approached them. The witch hunter and Mnesse drew back, surprised. Our witch hunter was just saying he could sense a witch nearby, said Palamon. He winked. All Donald had to do was play along. I always speak the truth. Mnesse said nothing, but the air was charged with her prickly, contemptuous magic. Hold back, Mnesse. Remember what we talked about. Ask the witch before you attack. Very well. The air lost some of its charge. What is this? I should be party to all your counsels, especially if they pertain to the witch. But Mnesse ignored him. Well, witch, Zaris is close. So many years, and I feel, no, that my revenge is at hand. But he's not close enough. He is not here. So let me ask you straight out. Do you know where he is? Don't be absurd. No, as I've tried to tell you before. Stop this, interrupted the witch hunter. A colloquy with witches is a feast of lies. Ask no questions, hear no answers. Mnesse ignored the interruption. I believe you, she said to Donald after a pause. But I do not trust you or like you. Normally I'd want nothing to do with you. You draw power from people's credulity and superstition. You profit from attacks on the feeblest parts of the human mind. But I find myself in dire need. I turn to you, to the powers my training has taught me to abhor. Because I have no resources, no friends, and just a shred of hope. Wait, why should I help you? Palamon shot Donald a worried glance. To the degree that he and the young witch had agreed on a script, this wasn't in it. What you just heard is as close as I come to groveling, Mnesse warned. Palamon suggested you'd be receptive, but maybe he was wrong. Come on, witch. You can't be happy to have a magician and witch hunter hounding you. Hear us out. I mean, I've won every fight so far. If I wanted it to stop, I could probably make it stop. This is too much, interrupted the witch hunter, furious. I'm a holy zealot of the great city, the scourge of nameless evils, not a bargaining chip. I insist that we break this parley immediately. I'll listen if you send away the witch hunter. Go on. Leave us for now, said Mnesse to the witch hunter. The witch hunter was indignant, but stepped back. You will regret this, Mnesse. Witches' lies are error's own shrouds. He's actually right that we are going to lie to her, but it's for the greater good, I think. But with that, he stomped off. There, said Mnesse. Now I have some peace and quiet. That's what your visions require. That's what I want. A vision. Of Zaris. Where is he? Can you tell me? I will try. Then try. Donald began to describe the unmarked grave, just as Palamon had planned. But then came a vision, a real one. He saw a bent, lonely silhouette against a backdrop of mountain mists. Meager bread, clear sunshine, contemplation, rainwater. A simple, harmless epilogue to a life that had been the opposite. I'm not gonna lie. He gave voice to the true vision. Why lie and keep Mnesse from her vengeance? I see Zaris watching suns and moons rise among rocks and stunted pines. His home is there, Donald said, pointing to the nearby mountain, just visible through the trees. Half repentant, half resigned, wholly human, Zaris waits for death. Are you sure that's what you see? Asked Palamon. But Mnesse was ecstatic. Yes, Palamon, of course. He has become a hermit, just like the prophet kings of the old days. Vainglory even in retirement. Pride, pride, pride. Oh, I can't wait to gut him. See the look on his face before I smash it against the rocks. Can you tell me anything else? His location more exactly. What his defenses are. Whether or not he knows I'm here. We say what we see. There's nothing more to say. Then that will have to do. Come on, Palamon. Don't look so crestfallen. Isn't this what we wanted? It's what I've wanted, anyway. There's no time to waste. We scour that mountain for Zarus. Forget the witch hunter. We all find what we seek. Hope it does us no harm. Palamon shot Donald a reproachful look. I mean, there's always a chance she'd find out he was still alive anyway, so why even take that chance? Harm. He won't have the chance. On we go. What you told me is true, witch. I will not forget you. And if what you told me is false, I won't forget you then either. The young witch had a true vision. Zarus was nearby, living a solitary life on the mountain. Mnesse was thrilled to hear this, but Palamon was disappointed that the young witch didn't go along with his plan. They set off to find him. Forgotten by almost everyone was the witch hunter, but refused to have anything to do with the witch's visions. So I wonder if we could have found Zarus before and actually known his location. And I guess he'll be dead before we get there. It'll kind of work out like how Aji died. Because of our actions beforehand, where I assume we could have talked down the mercenaries and had him live otherwise. Some rural dandy will. I'll take that. Put it right in my pocket. Let's quick save and take care of more Congress. When he was a little child, he played among the grass. Now he wanders in the wild. The dark trees watch him pass. One day hence he'll turn to soil and darken workers' spades. They turn that over as they toil, which once in grasses played. Donald and his companions were surrounded. Alright, the usher is vulnerable to poison this time. Got a plan. Roller-fletched arrows received. $77 dross. So I think the game got confused who was surrounded by whom. One of the creatures had sung as she fought. The tune lingered on in her absence. Alright, north or south first? I always liked walking south. Feels like walking downhill. So I'm guessing south will take us to the inn, or at least close to it, right? Check it out real quick. I think we go down south and back up north. Then we have a new path to explore. Yeah, because it takes us east. This tiny area. That takes us to the inn. It's already 3. Jeez. Alright. Gonna call it here, and next time we will explore north. And maybe finish this side of the map. Leaving just the mountain to go up. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one.